So much traffic here! Good Lord! This is wonderful! Although, doesn't mean it's the right sort of traffic. And that's really important. You can have thousands, millions of visitors to your website. But if they're the wrong kind of visitors, it doesn't really matter, does it? And that's exactly what the most recent episode of Making Conversations Count with Michael Buzinski was all about.
And so the rule of 26 simply states that if you increase your unique traffic to your website by 26%, the conversion rate of that traffic by 26%, and the average revenue per client by 26%, you'll get a compounded result of 100% more revenue.
Myself and Wendy Harris, you know the one I mean, the telemarketing trainer and expert who hosts Making Conversations Count. In her most recent episode, she spoke with Michael all about the importance of making sure you're getting the right kind of visitors to your website so that they might want to do some business with you. So let's get into our deep dive of the conversation.
Where we spend our time and energy is a big deal, isn't it? And there are always going to be things in our businesses and life that are on our to-do list. And for whatever reason, time or distractions get in the way. So talking to Buzz, Michael to me, about website strategy was really, really interesting because everybody knows I'm a big Marcus Sheridan fan and the they ask you answer. So having a website not just as a landing page that kind of says you exist, you're real, for blog posts and keeping it updated and relevant. Listening to what Michael was saying about how it can be working harder for you started to make more sense, to the point that he's also moved me to take some action around my own websites. You know, there's one for the telemarketing, there's the website for the podcast. And of course, when you're in flow with something and you're behind the momentum of something that you really enjoy, like the podcast, that's where you spend your time and attention, and other things get neglected. And if it is like a garden, then we've got to keep it weeded out and one thing and another. So incidentally, the challenges that I was having with my website are now, today, fixed because Buzz and his team did it for me. Because I don't understand it, knew it needed to be done, and it was just having that conversation with somebody that I went, I get it. So I can trust you to do that for me.
What a lot of companies do is they will just provide a service. But obviously what you're paying for with a lot of faceless companies is you do this thing you say you'll do, and then I, as the consumer or the customer or the client, have to trust that you're doing what you say you will do. Whereas with people like Buzz, Michael, what he's done is he's explained to you, this is why we do what we do for our clients. So you've not then got the issue. What you've got is you've got an understanding about what it is they're doing for you, but you don't have to worry about doing it yourself. And that is gold, because then you can sort of sit back and go, I know how to measure what they're doing for me because I'm going to be aware of the results that I need to look out for from what they're doing for me. And that is key. And that's what a lot of people are missing out on, I think.
It comes out, doesn't it, in what we do in everything, it could be anything, is that we all know what outcome we want. And often we get caught up in we need to know how to do it ourselves. When we're entrepreneurs, business owners, we've got to be able to do it ourselves. Well, actually, I much prefer it when somebody else makes me a really great cup of coffee than having to do it myself. And I don't necessarily need to know how they do it, just trust that it's going to come and I'm going to enjoy it.
So for anyone listening to this right now, who's heard you say and admit that having a conversation with Michael Buzinski, the website god of getting you the right kind of traffic, that he's helped you with certain elements of your website, can you divulge what some of those elements were that you needed fixing and what the benefit's been for you having got them fixed?
Well, I won't know the benefit until we've got to play out time, but Essentially, Google Analytics was on one of the websites, but it was in the wrong place, so it wasn't tracking anything.
Oh, no. You had one job, Google Analytics.
And in honesty, there's only a couple of people that I can point a finger at, and I don't know whose responsibility it was to set it up. However, what I can say is that they were definitely not web developers. It was one of those things where they went, "Oh, I think I know how to do that," or "Yeah, I know how to do that. Leave that with me." And because I don't know any different, trusted that it was done and wondered why I never really got an email saying, "Oh, here's your traffic." Because I didn't even know if it was going to come to me or go to them, because I wasn't worried about it, you see. So now we have Google Analytics set up, and apparently when you log in, it's all on the dashboard and you can see. So the next task will be, because it is 24 hours into that being there, is to work out how long we need to leave it so that we've got some data, and then we'll start to analyse the data. And no doubt I'll just say, "Michael,
have a look at this, will you?
What does this mean?" So the outcome will be that we'll have a better understanding, and hopefully that will lead to the transformation that we need in terms of getting it working in the right way. And I've already, from reading his book, The Rule of 26, I'm already looking at the content that's on the pages that are just landing pages. They're just a fancy brochure for my telemarketing training, and going, that doesn't answer anything really. It just looks pretty. So how can I expect anybody to be really seriously motivated to do that call to action, which is fill out the contact form or to give me a call, when making calls is not something that they like doing already? It's ironic, isn't it?
I love this. It is testament to the podcast that in the most recent 2 episodes, you've not only told people what they should be putting on their website through Marcus Sheridan, and they ask you answer, but now, once they've started to put that content on their website, now you've taught them how they can get people to actually find the thing in the first place and actually consume it. So
pat on the back. Yeah. And it's layers, isn't it? We can't expect to know everything all at once. We can have this kind of, it's like a puzzle, isn't it? You can have 1,000 pieces, but not until it's built will all the pieces be in place. So that's a lot of moving parts for anybody who's still got to be really good at what it is that they do to earn the money to move those pieces into place. That's kind of really where I want the podcast to be featuring, is that it is one of those where not only is it interesting conversations, but they go away with, I know how to do that. I know where to start on that piece. So that's really a goal for 1,000 episodes, isn't it? Neil needs to lie down in a darkened room now. But of course, you will find them all on the makingconversationscount.com website. And now we've got analytics, we'll know whether you're sticking around or not.
So there we have it. Making Conversations About Website Marketing Count, episode 79. If you've not listened to it yet, go back, go to makingconversationscount.com and click the button for episodes. If you're listening to this in Apple Podcasts, do us a favour, will you? Hit the 3 dots in the top right of the app and make sure you click the follow button. If you're in Spotify Podcasts, hit the follow button there as well. Every time you follow us, it makes us feel giddy with joy. Until Thursday then, when the next episode will be released into your podcast library. See you then.